Good morning, Minnesota DFLers, and welcome to the DFL Daily. Richard Karlbaum here, chair of the Minnesota Democratic Farmer Labor Party. Good to be with you each and every morning at 10:45 Monday through Friday to make sure you have the message, the action, the tool to be empowered. Couple of things just off the top. Obviously, people are seeing the breaking news. Don Lemon, Georgia Fort, who are practicing their First Amendment right to provide coverage of a protest, were arrested by federal agents. Don Lemon was arrested in Los Angeles. Georgia Fort, a local Minnesotan who is a known local journalist, was arrested by federal agents here in the state. Obviously, Donald Trump and his federal agents have been attacking the Fourth Amendment by violating our right to unreasonable search and seizure, and they certainly want to do everything they can to violate that First Amendment. Other local protesters were also arrested today, so just wanted to acknowledge that. We're tracking it closely. It's unacceptable. People should be able to practice the First Amendment and not be arrested by federal agents. That's 6:30 in the morning. This is a weekend packed full of energy ahead of precinct caucus night on Tuesday. There's plenty of ways to plug in. I just want to mention a couple of them. As you're out and about this weekend going to some of these events, please make sure that you're lifting up the importance of attending precinct caucuses. Please ensure that you're lifting up the importance of that non-attendee form for people who don't feel safe leaving their homes. We want to do everything we can to maximize turnout on Tuesday. Tomorrow morning, neighbors are gathering for coffee and conversation events in Andover at 8:30 a.m., Coon Rapids and Melrose at 9 a.m., and in Apple Valley at 9:30. Great opportunities to connect locally and build momentum going into caucus week. Tomorrow afternoon, the Emmer Do Better weekly visibility rally is going to be happening in Chaska at 1 p.m., followed by a virtual precinct caucus training at 2 p.m. for anyone who can't make an in-person session. I will say there was a training yesterday that I got from Dan Leiden. If you're on the call, Dan, thank you. 150 people show up. The energy to flip the 8th district, the energy to show up and be present in this moment is massive, and that gives me a lot of hope for the kind of turnout we'll have on Tuesday. And finally, looking ahead to Monday night, Frank Talks History is happening in Rosemont at 6:30 p.m. Head to dfl.org/events to find something that fits in your schedule and help us make caucus season even bigger, safer, and stronger. Okay, let's get to the message of the day. This week showed us who we are and how we want to respond. This week in Minnesota has been heavy, urgent, and clarifying. Just like previous weeks, we've sat together to reflect on the killing of Alex Preddy. We've watched ICE escalate their harm and intimidation in our communities. And we've seen Minnesotans respond by showing up for one another, organizing, and refusing to be silent. Across the state, people have continued to protest in freezing temperatures, volunteer as constitutional observers, and share information to counter disinformation and prepare for caucus night on Tuesday, February 3rd. We do all this because Minnesotans will never stop fighting for our neighbors. We will take care of each other and speak for what we believe in, regardless of what Donald Trump or his agencies threaten us with. And last night, we saw clear proof of that sustained collective pressure works. After days of protest, public scrutiny, and organizing following the killing of Alex Preddy, Senate Democrats forced Republicans to pull the DHS and ICE funding out of the broader government funding package. Instead of getting a blank check, DHS is now on a short leash, funded only temporarily and under renewed scrutiny. We can't let up the pressure. That didn't happen because Republicans suddenly found their conscience. It happened because we put pressure on them, because Minnesotans and our allies demanded accountability for ICE's actions and made it politically impossible to pretend nothing had happened. It's a reminder that what we've been doing in Minnesota, protesting, organizing, showing up, and refusing to disengage is not symbolic. It changes outcomes, and it creates openings for real accountability. But I want to be clear, our fight is far from over. In Washington, negotiations around the scope, funding, and restrictions of ICE will continue. And in Minnesota, ICE agents will continue overstepping boundaries, abusing their power, and making all of us less safe in this process. Donald Trump said just last night that he will, quote, not at all be letting up on Minnesota. He's increasingly fixated on obtaining our voter rolls. And the last 3 election losses that he's had here, he wants to try to disprove that he lost those elections. We know Minnesota elections are the safest and securest in the country, but he's going after these election losses. We saw it earlier this week in Georgia. We saw it over the weekend when Pam Bondi demanded our voter rolls. This is really what it's all about. He's such a sore goddamn loser that since he lost Georgia and he lost Minnesota, he's trying to figure out how to argue that it wasn't really a loss. It's that obsessive. It's that grotesque. And it's that dangerous. It's going to take every one of us to protect each other from what he's demonstrated is an electorally motivated retribution campaign. It's going to take every one of us to protect Minnesota from this. Our next step in that effort to protect us is caucus night, and here's what to expect. We are 4 days out from an immediate way Minnesotans can and will apply that same pressure locally. Caucus night in Minnesota is this Tuesday at 7 p.m. It's the start of our endorsement process. Caucuses are gatherings of your neighbors. They're just simple neighborhood meetings of like-minded neighbors. You as Democrats will join other Democrats. Republicans will join other Republicans. You'll sign in. You'll elect local leaders. You'll choose who will lead the precinct caucus process. You'll vote on priorities like resolutions that build our party platform. And yes, you'll choose delegates who will ultimately represent you at the organizing unit convention next. All at the local precinct level, all among your neighbors, all getting to know each other and aligning with your priorities for how we want to see this country into the future. Registration will open at 6:30 p.m. Some locations have changed, so double check yours. You can go to the Secretary of State's Caucus Finder. We'll drop that link in the chat. It's an amazing tool. I got to tell you, if you're somebody who doesn't feel safe to leave your home, on that Secretary of State's Caucus Finder, you actually can understand both the non-attendee form, get that non-attendee form, and then you can also understand exactly who to send that to right there on the SOS website. If you can't attend, that non-attendee forms are available, and they must be submitted by tomorrow, Saturday, January 31st, or brought to caucus on Tuesday night. You can hand it to somebody and have them drop it off for you. Learn more at dfl.org/caucus. Caucus night is how the energy we're seeing right now becomes durable political power. It's how we protect participation when intimidation is their goal. And it's how we show clearly and visibly that Minnesotans are not backing down. So this weekend, be sure to follow our accounts on social media. You can find the links at dfl.org/daily. Share content related to caucusing, help someone get to their caucus, arrange rides for one another, and encourage people who don't feel comfortable coming to submit that non-attendee form. And then when you're at your caucus, fight like hell to make sure that those non-attendees get elected delegates as well. Get ready to stand up on Tuesday with your neighbors and for your neighbors. It's so important. That's how we meet this moment together. All right, folks, we have 4 days to go to precinct caucuses. We have 277 days until the 2026 midterm elections. It's great to be with you all week. We'll see you on Monday. Let's go win this thing.